There's only 6 weeks left in 2018. Where's the year gone? Throughout this year, we have seen major corporations fall victims to hacks and harvesting of their own customer information. And millions of customers of some of the most trusted names in business out there, such as Cathay Pacific, Facebook, Apple and Amazon, have had everything from their email addresses, phone numbers and credit card details fall into the hands of nefarious actors. However, as cybercriminals become more sophisticated, technology is paving the way for novel solutions that are being developed which may prove effective in combating these kind of hacks and online attacks experienced by companies of every ilk and size. But I recently discovered a company called Loki that allows users to transact and communicate privately and anonymously all over the internet. And this is made possible by using blockchain technology to decentralize messaging and transaction services. And by doing this, their technology could go a long way in mitigating the risks that are inherent in centrally stored databases, which serve as somewhat of a modern treasure trove of data for hackers. Sounds intriguing, right? That's what I thought. So buckle up and hold on tight so I can beam your ears all the way to Melbourne, Australia, so we can speak with Key Jeffries, co-founder and tech lead at Loki. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name's Key. I'm the technology lead at Loki. It's a pretty all-encompassing role, but basically it means that I lead Loki in the technical direction that it goes in. So that means stuff like writing the white paper, keeping up to date with projects that are doing similar things to us, seeing if we can merge in things from their projects, seeing if we can upstream things that we've done to other projects that we like as well. That's kind of the gist of the role, but it's a lot of writing, a lot of research, and some management as well, because we have a development team here as well.
Now, I have to apologise for this next question, because you're probably sick to death of answering it everywhere you go and every conference, but the geek in me has to dive in straight away and say, what's the story behind the name Loki, and did it involve copious amounts of Thor movies?
Yeah, it's actually an interesting one because the naming process was quite weird. When we had this idea of a privacy project and we came into a room and a couple of us got together and we had a whiteboard and people were throwing up names on the whiteboard as we went. And Loki got proposed, but what was actually happening was a lot of names were just being flung away. We don't like this name, we don't like this name. Someone put the name Loki on the board, and we really still don't know who it was. But we kind of justified the name after the fact. So what we say right now is that because Loki is a privacy project, it's a play on words, so low key. That's kind of the idea. Also, we like the idea that it had key in it because we're dealing with cryptography. But yeah, the name has an interesting backstory to it.
Fantastic! I see what you did there. So Loki, like you said, as you said, Loki is a privacy project based on Monero. Can you just set the scene for anyone listening, hearing about you guys for the very first time, and just offer a brief overview of the kind of problems that you're solving and what you're doing?
Yeah, so I guess more and more we're seeing that people's privacy is being taken for granted. We've seen more data hacks. So we saw the Cambridge Analytica thing with Facebook probably about 3-6 months ago. More and more we're seeing intrusion on people's data privacy, and Loki is really a response to that those data privacy breaches. So we see increasingly more and more people coming out with tools. So there's tools that you can keep in your privacy belt to keep you safe online. So you have stuff like VPNs, things like Tor. There's a number of tools out there, and Loki really is another tool to add to the suite of privacy tools that people already have. So if we were to place Loki somewhere in the ecosystem, it's similar to Monero in that it offers a private medium of currency, so I can trade with my friends without people knowing that I was actually trading with them or the amounts that I was sending to them. But it also offers this idea of a second layer of privacy, which is much more related to people's access to the internet. So when I access the internet, essentially I'm making a direct connection to a lot of servers, and they have my IP address, and that's really personal information that we're giving over to private corporations like ISPs and governments. Loki really is a response to try and keep that information as private as possible.